And here we are. So welcome everybody. I'd like to welcome you guys to another one of our webinars, another one of Kara's webinar. This one is being titled Riding the Wave of Digital Transformation, a Guide for Human Resources. We have a good one today, like we usually do. So without further ado, I'm just going to start it up. Sorry about that. All right, so first things first, the game plan for today. Obviously, we're going to introduce ourselves. Afterwards, we're going to present the biggest challenges when it comes to 2024. We'll talk about HR analytics, which is what we're all here for. And afterwards, we're going to talk about the different levels in people analytics that we do have and that different organizations do have. And after that is being presented, we'll also look at a couple, obviously we have 3 right now, of projects that we helped out when it comes to people analytics and along their journey. So we'll see how it helped out being with Kara and the use of people analytics. Afterwards, we'll have at the end question period, but you can type them up in the chat and we're very good at interacting, so it'll be a little more fun than just presenting and just waiting at the end. So our team, as you can see, 3 people, we have the camera open. I'll start with myself, which I never like to do. I'm Andrée, and obviously here I'm a HR analytics advisor. I'm in charge of customer success and satisfaction. So I help out our different projects when it comes to using our Kara platform and making sure that everybody is well-versed in the platform and knows how to use it. Afterwards, we have Andrée, which is the one and only, as I like to call her. As the title says, Vice President Chief of Product here at Kara. Andrée has a background in mechanical engineering and a MBA. She's been named top 50 influencers in the world. She never likes it when we say it, but we like to say it how it is. Top 50 in the world in 2018, and she's well versed when it comes to small, medium, and large businesses and organizations. So she helps them out, whether it's training and throughout their journeys and different projects of people analytics. And last but not least, I don't say it lightly, last but not least, Emmy, also HR analytics advisor here with us. She is very good at basically everything. That's what I like to call it. But she's in charge of benchmarking here with us. And also she is the one who helps basically help all the projects that we do have start up along the way in their journey when it comes to people analytics. So a little bit more about us, but not us as people, but more as a company organization. So who we are the people at Kara, powered by the people of Saint-El. That means that we have a wide range of expertise when it comes to KPIs, dashboard selection and audit, KPIs, trainings, things of that nature. So we do have extensive background. We helped out a bunch of different businesses when it comes to that. And our history, like it says here, started in 1987. So more than 35 years of expertise for the people of Saint-El. And Saint-El is basically specialized when it comes to business intelligence, analytics, AI use, and with over 300 projects in different venues of business and lines of business. So as you can see, we have extensive knowledge of everything we're talking about. Obviously, our next activities are right after today. So when it comes to today, we do have the webinar. After the webinar, sometime during the afternoon, you will receive an email with a satisfaction survey, which is basically helping us out getting better of what we do. So if you have feedback for us, that's how you'll be able to do it. If not, by email is also fine. If you maybe miss out on some of the information that we do speak, because we're going to go a little bit fast today, don't worry. You don't need to take extensive notes. We'll send you not only the presentation, but also a link to the webinar itself. We have our next activity. It is in French. but it is still our next activity. It is on May 29th when it comes to presenting the Baromet RH results for 2023. That would be with lovely colleague Emmy. And if maybe French is going to be a little bit hard, we are going to do it again in English on June 12th. So basically presenting the results for 2023 when it comes to benchmarking and the Baromet RH. Without further ado, I will leave it to Andrée.
Okay, I'm gonna you. Well, no. Tell me when you because it's your screen, Jean-André.
You want me to stop sharing? I'll stop
Wait,
sharing.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, but no.
Oh,
Look,
sorry.
well, okay. So can you see my screen now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Not
yet,
yet.
but
Yeah,
now we
it's good.
can.
Okay, it's weird. Okay. Sorry. Oh, so thank you, Jean-André. Before diving into the main topic of today's webinar, I'd like to share with you some insights from a study conducted by the Boston Consulting Group. I think it's a good introduction for our discussion today. I think it's since 2008, Boston Consulting Group and the World Federation of People Management Association have partnered on a series of global surveys of people leaders. This year's surveys included response from near 7,000 participants in more than 100 countries in all kinds of industries. The objective of this study is to provide a database view on the people management view on where people management leaders should focus their effort to create the most value for their people management function and also for their companies. This survey, the one I'm presenting you, took place from March through October 2023, and the results were published in last November. So people were asked this question: what are the biggest business challenges that your company is facing? And the participants could select more than one challenges. And companies selects on an average 4 challenges. So the first challenges identify is people challenges, talent gaps. Okay, so many companies do not have all the talent they need. Talent gaps and shortage represent the top business challenges that companies face, with 72% of the participants. So way before digital transformation and innovation at 43%, and economic challenges and economic downturns at 44%. And you can also see after that we have growth path, sustainability, data security, major restructuring, resilience, global expansion in new markets, and geopolitical risk. Note that for the number 2 challenge, the digital transformation, it remains a crucial area for people manager. But digital capabilities, we can see it in our customer, it lacks in many organizations. Digital transformation include, of course, using digital technologies, but it also include using data and analytics. They also ask participants to assess people management topics. They have 32 topics in the current methodology. They ask participants to rank the topics in terms of future importance for their organization. You can see that in the y-axis on the graph, and their company's current level of capabilities, the x-axis. And the x-axis is a little bit weird because it starts from high to low. Okay, so it's reversed. The goal of this exercise is to help people management leader identify the most urgent priorities in order to improve not only their function, performance, but also the performance of the company. That kind of prioritization is always important, but in the current poly-crisis environment that we are in, it has become an imperative. So you can see in the graph, in the pink area are located the topics that have a high need to act. In the yellow part is the medium need to act, and in the green part, we have the low need to act. So if we focused on the pink part, the number one topic is leadership behaviors and development. So developing individual into leaders. So that's the number one topics for organization. It's followed by strategic workforce planning. So if you don't know what is strategic workforce planning, it's a systematic forecast of workforce supply and demand scenario from a long-term perspective. So to perform strategic workforce planning, you need to have good data, and data and people analytics can help you perform better strategic workforce planning. In number 3, we have change management for upskilling and reskilling, which is to identify competencies to offer training that helps employee gain new skills for their current position or a different one. In number 5, we have top talent management. Top talent management is the assessment and segmentation of top employees based on their performance and capability. In 6, we have talent sourcing ecosystem. So the talent sourcing ecosystem is to leverage a wide variety of talent pool that meet the organization needs. In 7, we have HR IT architecture. So it's to have a human capital cloud solution to facilitate collaboration and to improve the efficiency of HR processes. And in number 8, we have my favorite, people analytics and reporting. And finally, in 9, we have career pathing. So, you know, these topics are the ones that the company are going to act this year. And just to give you a heads up on the green part, what we have there, in 28, we have health and safety. In 29, we have employee relation. 30 is flexible work schemes. In 31, we have HR organization and governance. And 32, policy management. So now, what is people analytics? Okay. It's the process of making an optimal or realistic decision based on existing data. The word data is the most important word in this definition. To be able to implement people analytics in your organization, you will have to go through the people analytics continuum. This is the graph you see on the left part. Right part, sorry. On this graph, the x-axis represents complexity, and while the y-axis represents added value. So we begin our continuum with intuition, which is not very complex and doesn't add much value to your organization. Next, we move on to indicator and statistical ratio. This is typically the starting point in people analytics, where we establish our most useful HR indicators. Then we go to the benchmarking part. We want to compare ourselves or the indicator that we picked at the first steps. We want to compare these indicators, either benchmarking them against ourselves or ideally against an external benchmark within our industry. Following this, it becomes valuable to design an HR dashboard with multiple indicators directly linked to your HR strategy. While the dashboard effectively describe what's happening in the organization, it needs regular updating, at least quarterly, preferably monthly. The pinnacle is achieving a real-time dashboard. After that, after this stage, we encounter surveys. Most HR departments seek employees' opinion, whether for engagement survey, onboarding survey, exit interview, satisfaction survey. So active data reflecting employee opinion is another aspect of HR analytics. But sometimes the survey is not connected to the rest, okay? It rests somewhere and it's not connected. So active data, when we can connect it to the passive data that you have in your HR system, it adds valuable information, and it's good to be able to cross-reference this active data with the passive data. Then comes the analytics wall. You see it represented on my graph there, the wall, that the analytics, the people analytics wall. At this point, when you want to cross the wall, you will need to invest money, time, and resources in establishing an HR analytics team to push further analysis. For example, you'll be able to conduct correlation, regression, causality analysis, and even predictive analysis using artificial intelligence. This can extend to prescriptive analytics. If you don't know what is prescriptive analytics, it helps you determine what's the best action to address a situation. All organizations aspire to predictive analytics, but how do we get there? So in 2022, we decided to implement a people analytics maturity model to assist our customer in advancing in the field of people analytics. We developed a questionnaire comprising about 15 questions to position organization on our maturity model. The model consists of 4 levels. The level 1, or reactive, is composed of organization, as the name suggests, who lacks a strong foundation for people analytics. They are highly reactive and produce performance indicator only when they need or asked by upper management. At this level of maturity, data is not considered as a great asset. Level 2, or awareness, marks the beginning of awareness within the organization regarding the importance of data and its use. At this stage, organizations start implementing a dashboard and are more inclined toward cleaning up their data, their HR data. Also at that level, they want to benchmark themselves. At level 3, or convergence, means a thorough understanding of the importance of data quality. Usually, organizations there focus on various data sources, not just the data from your payroll or HR system, but all the data that could help understand HR dynamics in your organization. Organizations at this level not only publish dashboard, but also analyze the results extensively, cross-referencing different indicators to determine the cause of specific HR trends. Finally, level 4, we call it mastery. It indicates a successful implementation of people analytics throughout the organization. So people analytics is not only used in HR, it's used by everybody in the organization. We use HR data to make better decisions. At this level, there's also a dedicated HR analytic teams comprising various profile. Of course, there are HR people in there, HR professional, but they also have data scientists and organizational psychologists, for example. As mentioned earlier, we developed a questionnaire that was completed by over 200 organizations. And And we found out that 28.9% of those 200 organizations were at the reactive level, so doing almost nothing with data. It's the purple part of my graph there. While 53.2% were at the awareness level, the turquoise part. I remember when I started in people analytics in 2000, 30 years ago, so a while ago, you had more than 50% that were at level 1. Okay, so you see there's been a progression in people analytics, but people are still at the level 2. Okay, so if we add level 1 and level 2, it means more than 80% of organization are there. And so there's a lot of work to do, still work to do. And for the level 3, the convergent, there is 16.2%, the orange part. And finally, only a modest 1.7% were at the mastery level. And usually, and not usually, the organization that are at that level are large companies with over 5,000 employees. Because if you want to perform mastering people analytics, you will need to have a team to do that. Okay, so when you're a 200 or 100 people in an organization, I don't think that you will have somebody dedicated to people analytics. If you're interested in completing the questionnaire, you can find the link here. It's at the bottom. It's at the bottom here of the slide. Upon completion, you will receive a one-page report outlining your organization position and providing some guidance on the next steps to progress. I will now pass the mic to my colleague Amy, who will dig into specific cases of company that have implemented people analytics within their organization. What I want you to get from this, it's not that they're using Kara, okay? I want you to take from this that they're using people analytics. So yes, we have a tool to do that, but there are other tools on the market to do that also. Okay, I don't want to push our tool here. I want you to, when you finish this webinar, that you say, okay, we want to implement people analytics in our organization, and what can we do for that? So what Emmy will show you is our case study. The majority of these companies were at level 1 and 2 of the maturity model when they started their journey. So Amy?
Well, thank you. I'm gonna share my screen. And I'm pretty sure that my colleague Gauthier can also share the link for our maturity survey in the chat, so you can be able to see it. So do you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you there. Okay. So first of all, I would like to thank my two colleagues, so Jean-André and André, for that introduction. So it is a great way to introduce the 3 use cases for people analytics that I'm about to show you today. Okay. And as André just mentioned, today we are presenting 3 organizations using our people analytics solution, Kara. So the aim of this webinar is not to sell you our solution, but to show you what people analytics can do to help you in your daily basis, on a daily basis. So we have prepared 3 case studies from organizations of different business field and size, which have been using our people analytics solution for a varying length of time. So the first case I would like to present to you today is the one of BCA Research. So you may not be familiar with them. BCA Research was founded in 1949 and operates in the financial services sector. So more specifically, okay, what they do, they offer independent investment research. So their main clients are a financial institution, investment company. You also have insurance company, etc. So they have offices in Hong Kong, London, Sydney, San Francisco, New York, and Montreal. And at Kara, we help and we support the Montreal head office with over 150 employees, which is a pretty small organization. But more concretely, we help Sonia with her people analytics project. So you can see Sonia on my presentation. So Sonia holds a graduate degree in organizational psychology. If you are not familiar with the Quebec education system, a graduate degree is between the bachelor and the master level, okay? The master level. So we met her in 2016 at the Montreal HR convention. So Andrée, my colleague, was hosting a conference on people analytics, and she immediately embraced the vision that human resources must also measure their performance. Okay, and a few months later, so still in 2016, she applied to BCA Research, expressing her desire to use HR analytics, so to use HR data to maximize her performance. So the senior management instantly embraced the idea, as the data culture was already well established. However, there was a risk with this project, because although BCA Research is constantly measuring itself, only one department was not using its data. And I'm pretty sure you can guess which one it was. Human resources. And the reason is quite simple. There were only one person in the human resources department at that time for an organization with over 150 employees. So for most of you today, you are in the human resources department, so you can easily put yourself in her shoes. So that person must constantly respond to requests, manage emergency, and literally put out fires. So she doesn't have time to integrate people analytics and HR data in her daily routine. That's impossible. So back in 2016, Sonia steps in and prepares her project. So after 3 months, she presented a 40-page document to the senior management. In it, she presented the organization's objectives, the initiative that have been put in place, and what the data says they should do. Okay, so as you can imagine, questions and comments quickly emerged. So no, it's impossible that our turnover rate is so high. I don't believe it. And she had expected this, okay, that reaction. So she had prepared the formula, the list of employees who had left BCA Research, and she even added the turnover cost. That day, people analytics became a priority for BCA Research. And that's when she contacted us. Because at Kara, we favor a gradual entry into people analytics. So you probably know the expression, you have to learn how to walk before running. And that's pretty much the same for people analytics. So we suggested that she start her project with using the HR barometer. So it's a benchmarking tool. And that was enough for a while. She used it and she presented it. So she presented her results every quarter. And then she wanted to go further, okay, to be able to measure herself more and segment her results. So to see if there's a problem for a job group, age group, that kind of stuff. And that's when she identified the need for a people analytics solution, okay? And she started using our Kara's discovery module. So this is a lighter solution fed by an Excel sheet, okay, spreadsheet. So they have been using our platform since 2018, but they have begun a full implementation this year. And here are the results she shared with us after only a year of using our people analytics solution and a people analytics solution. So first of all, she noticed a sharp drop of her turnover rate. So it dropped from 27% to 7% in 12 months. And she was happy to tell me that it was still going down. Why was that? Okay, according to Sonia, employees are the lifeblood of any organization. Whether you are in finance or manufacturing, you cannot operate without your employees, okay? And having a global view of our organization has enabled her to fully understand her talents and their challenges and to pinpoint problems areas and intervene effectively, okay? And as a result, they have seen a sharp reduction of the cost per hire. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, BCA Research had only one person in human resources. Therefore lacked time for recruitment, okay? So the organization used headhunters. Yeah, by analyzing their expenses, they found that it would be more cost effective to have a full-time recruiter on their team. So the HR team grew from 1 to 3 person very quickly. And since there were far fewer departures, there was a reduction in the number of requisition. And all this to say that its cost per hire has fallen by 55% in 1 year. So here, the first 2 points I just mentioned represent several $100,000 in saving in just 1 year, okay? And finally, we also have the feeling of recognition that has increased by more than 15% in 1 year. And why this happened? Okay, because BCA Research put the right initiatives in place and intervened directly in problem areas. So BCA Research listened to its talents, and this listening helped to increase the sense of belonging and recognition. The second case I would like to present to you today is the one of Lutech Group. Many of you are probably familiar with them. It's one of the largest rental companies for heavy machinery, specialized equipment, and tools in Quebec. And an interesting fact to know is that the Lutech Group was founded in 1979, but each banner was independent. So each one had their own process and systems. So it was only in 2017 that a few owners decided to buy out and found a corporate organization. And as a result, the company has grown from an handful of employees to over 500. So the Human Resources Department was only created in 2017. So the HR department is pretty young for Lutech. The people analytics leader, project leader here is Anemone. So you can see her on my presentation. Let me briefly introduce her to you too. So Anemone has a bachelor degree in accounting and a master in human resources and change management. From her first job, she said that she was interested in data enhancement and system implementation. That's why she joined the HR team of Lutech in 2021. She was asked to implement an HRIS. And Anemone met us at the Toolbox Day organized by the Chartered Professionals in Human Resources, so the CPHR. This day enabled various suppliers to present their services and technology to HR professionals. So Anemone attended to several HRIS presentations and then saw Kara. And that's when it all clicked for her that she said they didn't need another operational system for Lutech. They need to concrete information to guide them in their decision making. But of course, when she floated the idea of dropping the HRIS implementation for a people analytics solution, it didn't go down too well with everyone. So as you can see, so the HR department has several operational systems. They have a payroll system, a talent acquisition system. They also have a learning management system and a time and attendance system. Each one offers a few indicators, but they don't communicate with each other, and they don't offer the possibility of cross-referencing and segmenting results. However, what she told us was that Lutech has a growth objective and that they badly needed a solution to support them in this growth. Why? Because they were putting a number of initiatives in place, but they couldn't determine their impact. So whether they were investing their time, money, and energy in the right place was impossible to determine with any certainty. Okay. And there was another risk to this project. As mentioned a few minutes ago, this project was not unanimously supported at the outset. So most of the HR team were curious, but it was noticeable that nobody had the same enthusiasm as Anemon's. And here are some of the results of implementing a people analytics. Unlike BCA research, I don't have any quantitative results to share with you today, but I do have results, okay? They have been using people analytics for the last 6 months only. So the first thing I would like to say is the implementation of a measuring culture. So when we met, she told me, and I'm about to tell you, people analytics gives us a better view of our organization so that we can build our future rather than being reactive. We can prevent situations rather than cure them. What she explained to me when we met was that most of projects were built in reaction to a situation, okay? They were more in an action-reaction mode. So now when projects are presented on a quarterly basis, they are approved and prioritized according to the HR data. Today, the CEO wants access to HR data, as do managers, analysts, and the HR team. So she told me about the situation when a new person came on the HR team. And the first thing she asked was whether Kara could help her with a particular situation or not. And the answer was yes. But she told me that she had never met that person or speak with that person before. So according to Anemon, this means that people in their team is talking to each other about people analytics and that the HR data is becoming more popular. So her goal is also to democratize people analytics across all branches. So eventually, she wants to share data with regional directors and branch manager. Otherwise, the use of people analytics has enabled us to get a better view of certain situations within the organization and to put in place 3 priority projects. So the first one is the diversity, equity, inclusion, so DEI. We don't have at Kara many details on it, but it's one of their priority right now. The second one is the retirement project. So when they obtained their first visual and analysis, they found that a large portion of their talent was already eligible for retirement or would be in the near future. So their priority was therefore to find and to train the next generation for these critical positions and to put in place initiative to retain also those who are due to retire. And finally, the third project concerns the involuntary departure of new employees. So let me remind you what involuntary departure is. Those are dismissal, layoff, etc. Okay, and at Lutech, they found that several branches were problematic. Okay, a large proportion of their new employees were not completing their probation. Okay, this issue was put in the hands of the HRBP so that they could better support manager in their recruitment process and ultimately hire the right person for the right position. And the third and the last case we would like to present to you today is the one of energy. And I'm sorry if I say it wrong with a big accent. In French, we say énergie. So you're probably familiar to them. So they are Quebec's leading natural gas distributor. Through joint ventures, they also produce hydraulic, solar, and wind power. And in Vermont, in United States, they are the main distributor of electricity and the only distributor of natural gas. And Énergie has more than 1,600 employees. But it was only in 2021 that the upper level identified the need to use the HR data to guide their decision-making. They therefore created the position of the People Analytics Manager, and Valérie got it. So let me introduce her briefly. Valérie has a background in accounting. Okay, she's not a HR person. Her career path has been in finance. Okay, she has been working for Energy since 2009, but it's only in 2021 that she joins the HR team to head up the People Analytics project. And then the question quickly arose, and you probably know that question. So how should we proceed for a People Analytics project? Should we build everything ourselves, or should we buy a pre-developed solution? And Energy, they choose to develop everything on Power BI by themselves. Okay, and that's when she contacted us because they needed support to build their dashboard mockups, and that's what we did. However, they quickly realized that their project would take some time to complete, so that it will take several months, if not more than a year. And since the senior management, so the upper level, has expressed the need to get the data quickly, they changed their mind and purchased a pre-developed solution. However, there was still a problem of democratizing people analytics because the senior management asked for the data, but the HR department wasn't used to exploiting it. So the HR team had a lot of work to do, as everybody, you know that situation, I'm pretty sure of it. But they were caught up in their day-to-day task. It was very difficult for them to integrate people analytics and HR data in their daily routine, okay? So we had to establish a measurement culture and show the HR team that their internal customers needed data to do a better job. So Energy has been using people analytics for less than 6 months too. So I don't have any quantitative results to share with you today, but I did want to present to you some of the results of this project. One of the main things she told us is I save all the manual calculation time that has no added value. I can invest this time in analysis and provide key information to guide decision making. I can really play my part. And I should add the last part that she said, I play my part and help my organization to make better decisions. So the first results I would like to share to you today is 3 months. Okay, 3 months is the time it takes to set up our people analytics project, obtain our first analysis, and be able to use them in our organization. The second results I would like to share to you today is two phases, because Energy doesn't just want to use turnover information, movement, retention, and demographic data. In a second phase, they also want to integrate their recruitment data to better maximize their performance too. Then I would say that a people analytics solution has saved them time, money, and energy. So first, time. So as mentioned, it took only 3 months to implement a people analytics project at Energy, but when it could have taken way much longer. But I will also add that she now has instant access to the data she needs. She gave me an example. So recently, her manager was in a meeting and sent her an SMS to find out the turnover rate. What she said was that previously she would have to lock herself in her office and to make some calculation, okay, to calculate everything. And transmitting this information alone would have taken her almost 2 hours, okay? She was able to give it to her manager in a matter of minutes. So it saves times. Then cost. So people analytics enable her to reduce a non-value added task. Okay. She also told us that it gave her a better understanding, of her talent. So who she was talking to and where they need to invest first. And she also pointed out that she didn't need an analyst to carry out her project. And then energy. Opting for a pre-developed solution saved her a lot of the energy. Okay, she had access to the best formulas on the market. The data was validated by the system, and the IT team was able
Is it me or?
No, I think Amy is done.
But also my favorite.
Amy.
Huh?
No. Oh
Ça
no.
coupe,
Hello.
ça coupe.
Can you hear me? Do you hear me
Yeah.
now?
Now we
Do
can
you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Relax, Amy. Relax.
Okay. Sorry about that. Internet.
It's okay.
Okay. Where I was.
Energy. The amount of energy it saves.
Okay, because opting for a pre-developed solution saved her a lot of the energy. She had access to the best formulas on the market. Okay, probably you hear that already. But she also added that the IT team was able to work on some other value-added projects for the organization. So they could do something else that was important for the organization. And finally, the last point, but it's also my favorite, okay? This is the one that enabled Energy to democratize people analytics in our organization, the pretext for sharing, okay? Since integrating people analytics into the day-to-day seemed quite impossible, she knew that sharing access to Kara and people analytics with the whole team would be irrelevant. Okay, so she decided to share the analytics under pretext only. So when a member of her team wants to implement a project, she presents them with the indicator that can help them justify their project and measure its success. So this has helped create a passion for using data. Oh, sorry about that. So this is what I wanted to show you today. So I'd like to sincerely thank them. So thank Energia BCA Research and Lutech, sorry about that, for sharing their story and congratulate them on the success of their project. So Sonia, Anemone, and Valerie, I would like to thank you for sharing your people analytics journey with us. So here we are. Andrée, would you like to share your screen or do you want me to continue?
No, you can just keep it. We have less time and we have to keep it for the questions if there are any. So, well, thank you again for being here with us on your lunch break. I know sometimes it could be challenging to do, but I hope the content was of value and was very useful to everyone that was here. So like we said, we do have our next activities. So in the afternoon, you will receive an email with a survey to give us some feedback. And starting next week, so the week of May 6th, you will receive not only the presentation, which is what you saw the slides today, but also a link to the video. Afterwards, there is the next webinar, which is on May 29th, which is the results for the Baromètre RH, the results for 2023. And then afterwards, if you can attend in French because maybe you're busy or you're not sure that you're at that level in French, then there is also the presentation on June 12th for the presentation of the results of 2023 for the benchmarking solution, the Baromètre RH. So if you have any questions, you can either type them or turn on your camera and your mic. We do like to see faces and hear voices, and we'll help you out as best as we can.
So I don't think there is any question.
I think everybody was very clear on it.
Yeah. Good.
Well, on that note, I mean, we'll leave the floor open, but if not, thank you for coming again and have a great rest of the day.
Bye, everybody.